Oh, hey, what's up? It's Carlos. I've been watching the drum slingers practice for a parade, and let me tell you, they are incredible. You know, this reminds me of the time my band went to a national marching band competition. And by my band, I mean I got to go along and help lug around equipment. It was really cool to see marching bands from across the country. You wouldn't believe how large some bands are. In fact, I sat near a family who had a couple of kids that kept asking, "How many are in this one? How many are in that one?" They kinda drove me crazy. Now, not everyone's a whiz at the difficult multiplication facts, but they can be if they learn how to use known facts. Come on, I'll show you, and together we can drum up another problem solved. These guys practice for hours before each performance. First, they learn their music, and then focus on learning the various marching formations. In a lot of ways, it's similar to mastering multiplication, especially the hard facts. You first have to learn how to think about multiplication, and then you can tackle any problem. I suggest we practice our thinking by using an array model. Picture a group of drummers that are in 6 rows and 8 columns. How many drummers would that be? Now, a lot of students would think 8 plus 8 is 16, plus another 8 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. 32 plus 8 is 40. And 40 plus 8 is 48. Have you ever done that? Come on, be honest. I used to. But there are more strategic ways. There are several ways you could arrange this problem. Each is important. First, we could split the array in half and add the parts. One way to do this is to split the array into 3 rows of 8 and 3 rows of 8. 24 plus 24 is 48. Or we could split the array in half another way, creating 4 columns of 6 plus 4 columns of 6. Again, 24 plus 24 is 48. With practice, you can visualize splitting an array in half and then add the parts mentally. Another strategy we can use is splitting off 5 rows or 5 columns. Since multiplying by 5s is easy. We could split the array into 5 rows of 8 and 1 row of 8. 5 times 8 is 40. Then simply add the remaining 8 to get 48. Or we could also visualize 5 columns of 6 and 3 columns of 6. 30 plus 18 is 48. For problems with larger numbers, we can use tens to split the array. Suppose we're watching a halftime performance and see a band that has 6 rows of 23 and want to know how many musicians are in the band. Our problem would be 6 times 23. If we split the array into tens, we can visualize 2 groups. One that is 6 by 20. 20 is just 2 tens. And one that is 6 by 3. We can easily recognize that 6 times 20 is 120. And 6 times 3 is 18. 120 plus 18 is 138. Not tough at all. You may want to practice by drawing and splitting the array, but in no time you'll find that it's faster to just think through the problem and do it in your head. When dealing with multiplication, don't miss a beat. Start using known facts. This will help to ensure that you drum up success with other math topics, including algebra. Problem solved.